Right, greetings everybody and welcome to the Wotv Weekly, one of the last few of the year, because we, as I kind of just alluded to, are getting towards the end of the year. Congratulations everyone on making it, and happy holidays to all of you. Now, before we get started with this video, I'm just going to make a quick report before we get into spoilers. Do not check the comments for this video for reasons that I'm about to get into, but Winder Raph, at least from the JP perspective and some initial testing that I've seen, seems pretty damn good in a limited style team. Second thing that we got to talk about really quickly is the fact that there has been no update on any live stream yet for JP. It'll be a little bit longer, probably later in the week when we get that announcement. So cool. Your Jets will bring that news to you in another video as soon as we can. Last but not least, before we get into the real stuff, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, the stage musical, is a thing that's going to happen, and that's all I have to say about that. Alright, so the rest of this video is essentially going to be heavy on spoilers for another story, Ashes of the Apocalypse. So, we are going to be talking about what I think is going to be the January the major character that appears like January 1st for JP. I'm not expecting Global to get this till a little bit later, so it's not super pertinent, but if you're steering clear of story spoilers for Ashes of the Apocalypse, you should just kind of turn the video off now, but thanks for giving a click and sitting through YouTube's horrible ad monetization, which I would like to actually do something about next year. But that would involve Patreon, and we'll see how that exactly happens. In the back of my... there we fixed it. Alright, so from now on, heavy spoilers. Let's talk about Ashes of the Apocalypse and what the January 1st character will be for JP. So yeah, every year, January 1st is a pretty big thing because New Year's is much bigger in Japan than it is for some other place. Like it's a pretty big deal here. And as such, the January 1st character is usually someone pretty important. Like a while ago now, it was Lord Mont. And last year it was Wingstern, and both of those characters are major story elemental characters, and as you can see, kind of a Leonis family thing. So yeah, I have, as per most people, some major expectations because we usually get a big collaboration and we get a major story character of some variety. And JP's gotten Ashes of the Apocalypse Part 3, which, as it turns out, had a fairly couple of major story developments that we're actually going to show off in this video, hence the spoilers thing. But yeah, when we get right into it, this story didn't... I wasn't expecting too terribly much from this because we didn't really get anything on JP that kind of indicated that this was going to be a major one. The image preview was pretty standard. Hey, look, it's Charles's father. That's pretty cool. Oh god, they're all dying. But yeah, oh wait, never mind. There is actually a major one. So yeah, we actually got, first and foremost, a upgraded, newer, older, more mature Lucio in this story update, which is pretty cool because Lucio, I feel, has been a fairly well-received character among the community. I mean, he's not like insanely popular, but nobody really bears an ill will or grudge to this guy. We kind of just like him, and the idea of an upgraded version that's stronger, more powerful, and maybe just pure meta would be really, really neat. So yeah, this is potentially the first preview. Now, this character didn't have a battle model, at least not from my recollection, which isn't a great sign, but, you know, maybe they're trying to keep it a little bit closer to the chest. Maybe they're trying to do that. And you think, wow, that's interesting. That throws a potential another contender for this coming January 1st. Like, maybe we're going to see Lucio is definitely a major character. He's been the poster boy for another story since the very beginning. And because of that, you think, yeah, he's a real contender. I mean, outside of that, who story-wise could we potentially say? Ramada, maybe. Ramada seems, definitely up there, but she hasn't really appeared in the story in her new version so much yet, so it's hard to say that. And for the most part, the actual main story feels a little bit dull right now. It doesn't have anything major happening to it, so why in the hell would it ever be the thing that was going to be the poster child for January 1st, right? It just doesn't make sense because there hasn't really been any build-up. But last month, uh, there wasn't another story update, and JP ended up getting nothing. And whoa, wait a minute, what's this? That's right. The King of Ash, the King of the Apocalypse, so to speak, is Mont, no less. Boy, oh boy, I would love to dig into this from the fact that, from an FFB perspective, Reinhead was the main hero and eventually got a evil version from the future or whatever. And here we have Mont, who's the hero of Wotv, who gets an evil version of him. So, you know what, you gotta say at least Gumi is consistent with their storytelling. But yeah, these are the major story beats from Ashes of the Apocalypse 3. I mean, essentially, in the ongoing struggle of the Warrior of the Crystals versus the King of Ash, both Lucio and Mont getting new versions of each of those characters, I think is a potential really strong candidate for what we're going to see early on into next year. I mean, basically, we've kind of known that Ashes of the Apocalypse has a bunch of characters to contribute to the game. So, yeah, I would kind of expect those characters to show up and be major players because Another Story is also quite popular and viewed quite favorably by the community. And as such, an evil version of Mont or a good version of Lucio are actually really neat contenders for this year's January 1st character. I mean, we don't know what the collaboration is yet for JP, but it's quite possible that I think these two characters are real contenders for JP's January 1st character into the new year. Mr. Ash himself, I guess we should probably just call the new Mont Ash. Just for clarity's sakes. But anyway, Ash here being fire or dark elemental, and Lucio being light. I say dark on Mont just because he obviously has more of a evil thing going on, and if Lucio is light, Mont is dark, that's kind of a good pairing of the two characters. And we have 8 characters coming from Ashes of Apocalypse 3, which essentially would make me feel that this being the light and dark character makes a lot of sense, especially with Lilith's brother probably being the new fire character. It makes sense that Mont ends up in a little bit more of the dark. But of course, nothing is set in stone at this point. And really, I mean, it could still be possible that these characters are coming quite far down the line. But why do the big reveal this month other than a story beat element when such a major spot in the character release schedule is coming up? And yeah, you think last year when we had the announcement of Story 3 and we got that neat cutscene video showing off Wing Stern, and then Wing Stern showed up shortly after, kind of makes sense that this is it for what we're getting this year, because Ashes of the Apocalypse, again, is pretty popular and people get pretty favorable. So this is kind of my guess. If I was to say one of the two, I'm probably going to say Mont is ours just because of the Leonis tradition. Soft tradition maybe, but tradition at this point of one of these buggers showing up every single year. Which, anyone want to place a bet on the following year that we're going to get another version of Stern for New Year's next year, if the game's around that long? It's possible. Either way, you look at that statement. But yeah, Lucio, I think, is not going to be I think he's going to be the penultimate final character from Another Story at the very, very, very bitter end. But yeah, I think Mont is more than likely going to be our January 1st character this year, shortly to follow after on Global. Maybe Global will actually have the balls and just put him out at the same time as JP even, and we'll just both be celebrating New Year's the exact same way. That's pretty cool. I guess the only other prediction, I mean, we already know that this is a sword character. I kind of would hope that he has a little bit interesting of a gimmick, like maybe he's a magic sword user or something a little bit different. Uh, I'm interested to see what exactly we do about this, although it's definitely a little annoying that we're going down the high route again. For those who don't know, FFE High O, who's also in this game, uh, is the evil or darkened or malicious version of Rain. And now we're kind of doing that with Mont, so it's a little disappointing to see us go down that route again. But like I said, consistency, have it. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment. Who do you think is going to be our January 1st character? And also, if this is Mont, who the hell are his underlings? This Shadowlings? Is this evil Shadowlings? And the other one, evil Lilith, to kind of combat that her brother is on the good side and make some drama and tension and all of that. Who knows? But we'll surely find out in the future. So that's all for this video. That's the end for now. But throw your comments below. This is a spoiler video, so feel free to go nuts. So thanks so much for watching. Take care and see you next time.